It's Donax again, and today we're playing against dragons. We're going second, and let's see how it goes. So he starts with Chaos Space, we ash it, so he can play with the Bestial, so Magnamut, and then he draws Ravine, which is funny because it breaked. I mean, it didn't break, but he didn't have a play without the draw from Chaos Space, but fine. And so he goes for that. He dumps Lubellion. Lubellion gives the Branded Beast, sets Book, Soronir, pass. We have a very good hand. Um, we can try, I mean, these two are Herald. This is another um, good extender, and Supe is there if needed to have more bodies. So we can start with Foolish. With Foolish Enchantress, we do not want to banish our Enchantress from hand, because this will be our normal summon to make Herald and then Speeder if needed. So keep in mind, you, like for example, in this hand, what are you gonna normal summon? Like, this can't be normal summoned, this can be normal summoned, but can also be used from graveyard, and it's a good discard. So the other card that stays in your hand that has to be normal for summon is Enchantress to get the most value from your hand. And that's exactly what we do. Um, and that's why we banish the Enchantress from grave. So here I misclick. We add Fateful, Right, sorry. So now we go with Right. Um, I'm expecting here our opponent to Branded Beast negate the pop the token. Let's see what he does. We tries to search monster, and he drops the Soronir, which does absolutely less than nothing. But he wanted to keep Lubellion on field, I guess. So here I dump Stardust, and as I said, it's useful in graveyard to push. We don't need to keep stuff in our hand. So we go Chainlink 1, Fateful to grab um, a spell, Chainlink 2, Branded Beast trying to pop the token. And that's fine. We grab the spell, so it's even more stuff to discard, and he burned through all his interruptions other than Book that we still don't know. And we still have a 5 cards hand with a card on the field and some setup in graveyard, so we're in a pretty winning spot. And what we do here, okay, first he goes like that, that's fine. We go overtake, and we threaten a Synchro here. As I explained sometimes to my viewers, the way you force interruptions when you go second is A, you try to prioritize Access Synchro Stardust, and B, you want to put as often as possible your non-tuners and tuners on field. That means your opponent is forced to spot removal. Otherwise, you're just going into synchro monsters, get more advantage, and that's not what they want to do, right? So here the correct thing to do would be Book of Moon or Jet, or Wandering River Rider, either of two. He doesn't, so we go with Access Synchro Stardust Dragon. Access Synchro Stardust revive the Jet, and here I can normal summon Enchantress, as I told you. You have to maximize your resources. So this was our normal summon, and we kept it, so there you go. We make Herald from that, and here the book is not gonna be useful. I'm reading this as an imperm. I was not expecting a book, so I'm trying to play around imperm as better as I can. So here we have Jet discards, and we go. Here he thinks that Herald banishes spells too, but he doesn't know the card. And here I can just make an effective speeder. But he has book, so he books her jet, and that's correct. A little too late for my likings, but now it's correct to do so. And I go Herald, negate the book. What does this do? How does this chain resolve? We summon uh, the OG Stardust Dragon. We do not have a Synchro 9 in our extra deck, and so the chain ends, and in a new chain we Herald grab um, what's called Illusion of Chaos. So he thinks we're forest, but I cannot make a Synchro 9, and he thinks that if that's the case, I couldn't activate Access Synchro Stardust on the first place, but that's completely bullshit because when I use Access Synchro Stardust, I did have the materials. I have the way to make a Synchro 5, which is Peter, of course. And that's why I was correct on that ruling. So I can just go for Souls now. Souls draw 1, and I still have the materials to make the Duskwalker if I need the bodies. But in this case I don't, because I can just tribute that, grab Illumination, and go for Speeder. And this is very easy kill. We just make Crystal Wing, we make Dispatter, we make Omega, Baron, and we didn't even use the Dispatter to summon back. So game number 2, we don't open hand traps this time, but we have Thrust, so we want to see how he's comboing and what we can do. He grabs the Magnamut, then he goes for the Beast setup, he goes Seals, Magnamut, Summon, and then he gets the Saronir, make a Thumb, and that brings the regaining field on the grave too. So he grabs Levineer, but that's a mistake, I think, because he didn't have Tarks in graveyard. Um, so there was no point. I mean, there is a point in grabbing Levineer here, but what if you just go for the Black Dragon combo before doing that? You just go for Pisty, and then synchro these two off for Dark, and then you have Pisty, Collapse, and Soronir to hand rip 1. Like, that was the correct play. He doesn't do that. He, for some reason, ends on the Tom, and he's still got plenty of resources. He's got Seal, the Branded Beast, and Regain setup. He's got 2 Bestials, only 1 because Lubellion cannot be used on our turn, and he's got Nibiru as well, that I don't know. So I draw Smallword, and here I think the only way to push here is if Kelbeck mills our Enchantress and some Synchro names, because the Synchro names I have in hand do not provide a lot of non-tuner bodies on field. I don't have Supay, I don't have Illusion of Chaos, so I need to have more non-tuners from our graveyard. I was hoping to mill a Trail, for example, and an Enchantress. So that's why I didn't go straight for Enchantress. I went for Kelbeck, hoping to mill that. And I don't mill either of those. I mill Revolution Synchron and the Stardust Synchron, which are fine, but I already have the Stardust in hand to use. The Revolution is a very late extender from your graveyard, so we still need to resolve a Thrust and set up the right engine before going for that. So that's why we small war for Enchantress, and here with Enchantress. And as I explained in the other video, you need to maximize your bodies. Here, for example, what are we gonna normal summon Jet Synchron? Sure, we can, but that's not forcing because it's not gonna have too much of an impact into his board. For example, if we go Enchantress beat over Seal, what is gonna do? What is he gonna do? Seal's bounce Enchantress? Like, sure, I can just use Enchantress now, You gave me a resource. And what is even Beast? What is gonna do? Beast, Pop Enchantress? Sure, you gave me another resource. So that's how you break boards. You have to maximize your non-tuner bodies and your tuner bodies. He goes that. He gets the Magnum, so here I can use Thrust if I want to. Um, I figured first I wanted to um, clear his field, clears his shield basically. So here I go for Thrust, and why is that? It's because I still have to play against Beast and a full hand. So I grab Harpies, and this checks for this too. Also, knowing when my opponent knows I got the Harpy Fez Duster, he will likely put back my stars for me to get a draw. Otherwise, the regain is dead, and I don't think he's willing to put back something from his own graveyard. This is useful for um, Sabbath if he's ever summoned. These are fodder for other bestials, and this is not gonna do anything. So I thought he was willing to banish my stars because he takes away a resource for me. And that's what he does. He goes Baldrake and shuffle back the stars and draws into another Nibiru. That's fine. I mean, that was not fine, to be honest. It was only fine because he already has the Nibiru. And so here we can just combo off. And I'm going for the unaffected speeder. Oh wait, I cheated. Oh, I normal summoned twice, so it was never mattering. Yeah. Here he drops Nibiru, so yeah. It was never mattering, I normal summoned twice, so yeah. I can still make Crimson Dragon into Crystal Wing, but I still lose here. Like he's got Chaos Angel and then Levinier. I I really did not expect to to that and have normal summon twice. But anyway, I still lose, so I didn't compromise the match. But now I can go first, both side. He's got two Bestials and an Ash, so let's see if we can play through that with our hand. So we grab Faithful, we um, search for Griffin, and we dump Supei, the Squawker, because we didn't need it with the hand we have. Like we're having already two bodies and the other two from coming from the hand that makes speeder, and so we'll have a very clogged field. So we're keeping Foolish Burial in hand because if he's got trolled, we can just Foolish Burial, dump Stara's Trail, and then we'll have the illumination stuff basically without having illumination. So a draw with two less than nothing. And this is more important than a Supei, the Squawker, and the Supei. So we go for that. Assault Synchron, that makes Peter with the protection from Wandering Griffin Rider, and we chain block it. So he still has to have double Imperm Veiler because Imperm Ash would not work. We chain blocked, right? So we get Illumination and we make Baron here. We got Access Synchro trying to revive something. Remember, this doesn't target, but at the moment I only had Assault as a target for Access Synchro. So he's trying to banish Assault. I Baron negate because it's a Magnamut. If it wasn't a Magnamut, I wouldn't have. So that's it. Baldrick is fine. The Magnamut is taken care of, and I don't have an Assault. So I use Illumination, and he's got Ash. And this is exactly the same outcome as if it rolled us, but we have a Dragonback in hand. So that Ash was not enough to stop us. even paired with double bestial. So we get some follow-up, and then we Foolish Beautiful Trail, as I said. Now we can go for the Stardust combo, and we get the Access Synchron. Trail makes a token for us. We increase, make this better. Here we have Crimson Dragon. We can now just dispatter, get back the Access Synchron, the Assault Synchron, Baron pop Baldrake, so he has an empty field and only 2 cards in hand, and we just make Masurawo. We set these two because if for some reason he's got a Super Poly, we can just draw 3 and win with our follow-up. But he's not having a Super Poly. He didn't resolve Magnamut, so he's not grabbing any dragons. And King Calamity now targets Mazurawo. Sorry, Crimson targets Mazurawo, makes King Calamity, and it's just game. Like, it was game even without King Calamity. Like, there is no way you're playing through a setup of this kind, even if, like, for example, this Calamity was a Crystal Wing or a Majestic Star Dragon. So here, Calamity was just sealing the deal, not actually winning the match. Yeah, with that said, um, I'm happy that she didn't compromise the match because I lost the game anyway. But there you go, it was a very fun match, and hopefully we have other like that. So see you on the next one, where we'll be trying a slightly new version. I'm experimenting if I can bring down the power a bit to increase the consistency. Um, and by doing that, I also increase the non-energy spots. So stay tuned for that. See you on the next one. Bye.